after taking over a whole bunch of places, and then the guy sent his army and took him away, and he died.
You talking about King David?
Mm-hmm.
He got wiped out by the Muslim invaders from Egypt. Okay, good. Seth?
Are you videotaping?
Yes, because I like to.
They were treating for a really long time.
Who? The Egyptians were retreating?
No. I don't remember.
He was talking about the Egyptians up here, and then down here was Nubia.
Yeah, it's
Nubia. Okay.
And they were trading for a super long time.
Oh, trading. I thought you said retreating.
Oh.
I was like, who is retreating? Okay, so Egypt and Nubia were trading. Okay.
And they had a super long treaty because they kept them away from beating them.
Yeah, their treaty was 600 years long, the longest in history, in world history. Yes. And that's impressive because Egypt was beating everyone, but they couldn't get into Nubia. And so they were like, let's make a treaty. So, yes, very good.
America isn't even 600 years old.
We're a young country. All right, Leilani.
When they made the peace treaty, it lasted for a very long time, and all the various people that came into power were just following the treaty until the other people came into power, and then they demanded that the people send them slaves again, and to send slaves to make up for the slaves that they hadn't been sending. But they were like, no, that's ridiculous. We're not going to do that. Right. So then they started fighting.
Yeah, that was the Mamluk dynasty in Egypt.
The Mamluk dynasty were greedy gumdrops.
They were greedy gumdrops. The Mamluks were actually ex-slaves who took over the government of Egypt. And then, as he explained, he said that it was because they didn't want to be squeezed with Christianity from Rome? No, the Crusades. So that's actually coming from Europe, the British people coming over to the Middle East to take over. And they were like, yeah, we don't want them squeezing us from this area and from underneath. So Egypt was like, the Mamluks were like, we don't like this. So we're going to destroy this people so we can only have to worry about one group coming in to take over. So yeah, very good.
Didn't work.
No, the interesting thing about the Crusades, which is probably something you'll be learning at some point in your history classes, is that the Europeans were not very successful in their crusades. And they kept trying to come over and take over, like, this is where Jesus was born, and you guys are all Muslim, and you don't deserve it. So we want Jerusalem. Give us the temple, right? And the Europeans kept coming over and sending their knights over. And
the Europeans were dumb.
Well, they were greedy gumdrops. I'll say that. But then you had people like Saladin who would defeat them and send them back home with their tail between their legs. And then there was that one king. Remember King Richard? Richard the Lionheart, who got caught on the way back from the Crusades while his brother King John was rampaging around England and destroying things and stuff. That was when the stories of Robin Hood came out, because they were like, well, Richard is gone. He's fighting. That's all he likes to do. And I'm his brother, and I can take anything I want from the British people because he's not here to stop me. And so then the people came up with this idea of somebody robbing the rich and giving to the poor, because it was really hard. And not only that, but Richard was taxing them heavily to pay for his wars. And so then when
So was Robin Hood based on someone?
They believe historically that Robin Hood was based on several people who lived in Sherwood Forest, which was a huge forest in the center of England. And so then Richard's mom was like, you need to come back because your brother's destroying the kingdom. And then he tried to come back and he was caught by the Germans. And then they had to raise even more money to pay the ransom. It was a mess. But meanwhile, that's going on in Europe. The Egyptians are trying to keep from being crushed by the Crusaders. And so they're going down. The Mamluks, the Egyptians, are going down to try to defeat the Nubians, who were just sitting there going to church and not bothering nobody, you know. And then the next time we're going to talk about what was happening in West Africa while all of this was happening with the Ottomans and the Europeans and, you know, over in the Middle East and everything. We'll learn what's happening in West Africa because this is Eastern Africa on that side. All right, Sam.
The Nubians managed to hold off the Egyptians, Romans, and the Muslims.
The Nubians managed to hold off the Egyptians and the Muslims?
And the Romans.
Yes. Yes, they did. Olivia? What's your narration? Narration? Oh, wow. Did you just wake up?
No, I was listening and talking.
You weren't talking.
That's how I said.
You thought you were talking.
No, because you ended the video, and I was like, man. And then you said stuff with your head, and you said stuff talking.
Okay. I want a narration because I didn't hear any of it. Since you said it, just say it again so I can hear it.
No, I didn't say narration.
Oh, okay.
I said, oh, wow.
Oh, you said, oh, wow. Okay. Well, what is your narration? Tell me what you remember from the videos. The second video. Okay. Did you hear anything about the second one? About the...
No, I heard the first one.
Oh, well, do you remember anything from the first one?
Well, the first one was... What was the first one about?
They were both about Christianity.
Oh, wait, no, I was listening.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they were talking about how they were bringing to people how they were like killing them and stuff for doing their little business. And then eventually they started doing it. But I think, so I was watching this TikTok about, it was like this girl I was interviewing and she was like, I'm scared of the black people and the violence. And the girl got on there, she was like, listen, we don't even have a history of killing black people though. We have a history of killing other black people and y'all have a history of killing us. I feel like that's the same thing because they just came and bought their religion and they didn't want to change their religion. So they switched it to something else.
Okay. All right. Very good, guys. Very good. All right. That's it for Friday for Black History today. On Monday, we will probably take notes since we didn't do it for the last couple of days. Very good. Very nice. You guys straighten up for Sabbath. Shouldn't be too much stuff to do. Just kind of clean up a little bit.